I am fully aware that my hair is all over the place today, but my husband is homesick from work and I am tired and my ankle hurts and grouse, 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 bitch, bitch, bitch. My favorite thing this year is not my hair, but I can tell you about some of my favorite things from 2017 as a whole, the whole year, the whole enchilada. I don't know if they'll surprise you if you've been watching my videos. I'm pretty predictable. We'll just go through it, and I have them kind of categorized, and I'm going to kick it off with some non-planner related things because I do have those, as I am, more than just a planner person. So we'll do those, we'll get those out of the way, and then we will move into the plannery related things. The first thing that has become a massive favorite for me this year, because they started offering it at Starbucks this year, as far as I know about, is the white tea, the white iced tea, and I get the unsweetened in the fucking Trenta size. The reason it's my favorite is because it's lightly caffeinated, it's very refreshing, but ultimately what it has done is helped me quit drinking Dr. Pepper. And Dr. Pepper dark sodas are a big no-no now with my kidney function being the way it is. And I haven't been so great at adhering to the rest of the sadness diet, but I got that kind of out of the way, and that made my doctor happy, which in turn made me happy. A bunch of pretty awesome movies came out this year that I really enjoyed. I loved Wonder Woman. I loved The Greatest Showman. I loved It. I really loved It, and it is my favorite book of all time. But I have to say that my favorite movie that came out this year, by far, Get Out. I did buy it. I've actually lent the DVD copy out to somebody, and I've lent the Blu-ray copy out to somebody. This is an empty box right now. I've got to get those back. I thought this was a great movie. I thought it was funny. I thought it was an excellent horror movie, like thriller movie. I thought that it was clever as fuck. I also was kind of uncomfortable watching it because I saw, normally when you skewer like racist types in a movie, you're skewering like, the Deliverance type, but not necessarily well-meaning white liberals. But dude, watching that put a mirror up to a lot of how I have lived my life in the past and currently as well, and it really put me through some introspection. I also did a lot of reading into the layers of it, which, dude, it is fucking phenomenal. For a first-time director, if this doesn't get nominated for at least some Oscars, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. TV show wise, I don't want to be a douche canoe. I didn't even see the original first season of Stranger Things until October, right before the second season came out, and my husband and I were hooked. As a child of the 80s, as someone who loves Stephen King and John Carpenter movies and all of the things that they really use to 80s music, like when I picked out a Pretty in Pink song from the movie in Stranger Things, I was like, fuck yeah, I know what that was. That was from when Andy was fighting with Blaine. It hit me right in the feels, and it makes me pissed that all of the people I knew who kept bothering me because I hadn't watched it yet were right. I hate admitting other people were right. And then, of course, there were 3 things this year that I don't actually have in front of me, one of which is on my phone, which I'm filming right now, one of which is wandering around the house somewhere and I don't want to go bother him, and one of which is big and heavy and in my garage. But all 3 of them are things I didn't know I needed until I got them. My pop socket on the back of my phone. I got the Jenna Marbles special edition one with Kermit in his awkward school picture. I wanted it because A, it was a Jenna Marbles thing and I love her, and B, I wanted it so I could hook it onto the little adapter thing that would put it on your dashboard. Funny thing is, I haven't even installed that thing yet, but I actually did not realize just how much I would grow to love both the little stand thing where you pop the pop socket out and stand your phone up if you're watching YouTube while you're cooking or something, and having it to hold onto your phone, like you just put it right through your fingers and hold your phone like that. I didn't even know that was going to be something I liked. The second thing I didn't know I needed till I got it and couldn't live without it is my Instant Pot. Technically, I bought that at the end of 2016, but I was too scared to use it because I thought my house would explode. Well, for those of you who followed Vlogmas this year, I have used the shit out of it in December, and it has quickly become one of my favorite things ever because you can make dinner so fast, so deliciously, and I actually stuck to my meal planning because I bought the things and I made them and it didn't take that long and I didn't have to spend 2 hours getting shit made. Oh, the hype is fucking real with the Instant Pot. It really is. And the third thing is my cat. Look, I'm not a cat person. I'm actually kind of a hater of cats. I have had not so great experiences with cats in my life. Asshole cats, and I'm an asshole, and I guess we're too much alike and we clash. My husband and my kids were begging for a fucking cat, and I promised when we moved into a house that we owned and that had screens on the windows, because the house we rented had the old-fashioned open-out windows that didn't have screens, and I was like, that's no way. He got Loki, and there's a whole long story of how we got him, and if you're interested in that, maybe someday in a Q&A I'll talk more about about it, but point being, we got him. He is such a sweet cat. He is needy. He wants love. He and I spend more time together than anybody else does because I'm home all day working. And we're on the same level, man, when it comes to attention. I'm not a cat person. I'm definitely a Loki person. So you still can't say I told you so, my sisters, because they're both cat people, and they're like, oh, you're dead. You're gonna get all cat people-y now. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. I'm not a cat person. I'm a Loki person. Moving into the world of like planners and planner adjacent things, we'll start with the thing that kind of segues into it because it's not planner related, but it is related to YouTube, which is a big part of my planner life, and it is my favorite book of 2017. This book came out on my birthday, January 31st, hint, hint, and it's called Blog Like a Boss by Amy Schmittauer. Now, I've been following her channel for a couple of years, and she gives really excellent, manageable pieces of advice if you are someone who is into being a YouTuber. So much of the advice that you can get on becoming a YouTuber comes from dude bros on the internet, and I have no problem with dude bros. I will watch their shit too. But having a different perspective on it was really helpful, and I super connected with her shit. And so when this book came out, I knew I was gonna buy it, especially because it came out on my birthday, although I did pre-order it. I actually went to her Creative Live in July, and I got to meet her, and I had forgotten my book, damn it. And so she gave me another copy and autographed it. So I have a second book that I wanna probably do a giveaway on at some point. I just wanna start a YouTube channel, maybe learn how to vlog, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not just talking about life vlogging, I'm talking about any kind of videos. This is an excellent book to pick up, so I highly recommend it, and she is fantastic. I will link her channel down below. When it comes to planner-related attire, it's no surprise that my favorite thing is this Caddict Chrissy Ann Designs sweatshirt. Now, the reason I love it, look at these sleeves, bro. Look at these sleeves. I am 6'2". Nothing in my life, no article of clothing ever does this to me. But this sweatshirt does, even after multiple washings, multiple tossing it in the dryers. Fuck yeah. Now this year I got a fucking metric shit ton of tote bags and things like that. I'm not talking about fancy leather planner purses or whatever. I'm talking about just standard fucking totes. I am a hooker for tote bags. I will hook for tote bags. But my favorite one this year is actually probably one of the most practical decisions in terms of things I loved. And it is the bag that I got at the New York Planner Addicts meetup in May. Now, the reason I love this is not necessarily the color or anything. I mean, it's a standard looking canvas tote bag. It's because of how wide and shallow it is. It is the perfect size to fit my laptop in. This has become my go-to board president of my church bag. I slap my laptop in there. I have my binder with all my presidential shit in it, my planner. It's perfect. My laptop fits beautifully in it. I have other tote bags that I also love. I got one from Chrissy Ann Designs that I use as my music bag with my choir folder and everything in it. But this one has seen a shit ton of use. I don't even take my church shit out of it anymore. I just leave it in there until the next time I either need to use it or I'm taking it to a meeting. Now, some of you know that my husband and I bought our first house this year, and that's where I have my nice office, which is actually the dining area. I'm looking straight into my living room right now, it's all one big room. It's not a big house, but I like it. I actually love it. It's probably one of my favorite things this year too. When it came to setting my office up, I actually bought most of this stuff new because my old area was very, very small and shoved into a corner. And so when I knew I was going to have more space, I could add more things. And there's a lot of things I love about it. But my favorite thing, and something I get asked about often when you see views of my desk, is my pencil organizer, my pen thing that I have on my desk, to hold pens and shit. It's this guy. It is called the Boonstash Multi-Room Organizer. It is actually often marketed to store baby shit. I just use it on my desk, and I keep all the pens I'm currently using, my favorite pens, my scissors, whatever pens I'm testing, and my metric bucket of Sharpies, which is not all of my Sharpies, but the ones I'm in the process of using. Keeps them handy, it's really cute, and I just really like it. I've got a couple art supplies to talk about. First is my favorite markers of the year. Now, not Tombows, I had those already. I had a bunch of other markers already, but the new markers I got this year that I am fucking in love with are the Jane Davenport mermaid markers. I bought the original first pack of them. Jane Davenport sent me a couple of the newer packs, and then I bought the one that I didn't get sent, and I haven't tried those last ones out yet, but every one I've tried so far, to varying degrees, I love. The original set is my favorite, and I actually bought a backup set so I would have them when they ran out. Now, when it comes to actual art supplies, I have two that I couldn't decide between, and they're both watercolor related. The first one is Jane Davenport again, and this one I bought with my own money. It is the Brights palette. So she made these little palettes. Here's the, oh God, let's see if we can do this. Here is the inside of the Brights palette. And they look like this otherwise. They're little travel kits, and you can switch the colors out. She has 3 of them so far. And this one, the Brights one, is my absolute favorite. I took it with me to Oregon when I went this summer, and I did all my art journaling with this and the Neutrals palette. Fucking loved it. They're beautiful, they're bright, they're really well pigmented, so you don't need to use a lot of the watercolor to get a nice color payoff. Fantastic little travel watercolor kit that you can use with a water brush, and you're good to go. The other thing that I love is the Molotow Art Masking Fluid Pump Marker. This thing is my hero. Reason being is that I have worked with masking fluid in the past, and I always fail ass at it. I tear the paper up, I don't get a nice line, it always looks like hot garbage, and it pisses me off, so I basically gave up on masking fluid. For those of you who don't know, masking fluid is a fluid you put down on paper when you're watercoloring, and whatever's underneath the masking fluid stays that color. So that when you paint over it, when you remove it with like a sand eraser or with your fingernail or whatever, it has that area wasn't painted on, like a resin. You know what I'm talking about. Works really great if you're going to be doing any kind of lettering and then watercoloring over it. You have to kind of be careful because it sometimes gets a little like janky and you got to clean the tip off every few minutes or the more you work. And I also press down really hard, so that could be part of it. But I do not struggle with this particular fluid. I hate that word. I have the refill as well for when, you know, I'm done with, like, when this has been used, because you can refill this. But the thing I love the most about it is that the masking fluid itself is super easy to work with, and the pen is a really great delivery system. So those two things are my top art supplies for 2017. My favorite washi tape for the whole year is the gems set that I got from Simply Gilded with the holographic foil or the rose gold foil, and there's these gems. Comes in different colors. This was a set that came together. I have used the shit out of these. The color combinations, there's this pinkish watercolory one with the rose gold gems and these two like purpley, tealy situations with holographic foil. They're fucking gorgeous. I bought a bunch of Simply Gilded washi tape this year. I'm not gonna lie, but the gems ones are probably my favorite because the colors work really well with my palettes, and I have nothing wrong to say about them, but I can't really say much wrong about any of the Simply Gilded washi tape. Overall, for washi tape, Simply Gilded is A-okay. Sticker-wise, this is gonna seem like a bland-ass, boring decision, but my favorite sticker discovery in 2017 was the small rectangle stickers from Chrissy Ann Designs. These. They come in a bunch of different things. These are the pastel, I think, with overlay, I don't know, basic ass little small rectangles. Why do I love these? Well, they were on one of her samplers, and I used them in my planner to, like, I put some washi to mark a trip or something down, and then I used the little sticker from the sampler to write what it was at the start of it, and I loved how it looked, and it turned out that they happened to be whole sheets of them, and I was like, well, fuck yes. And so I bought a bunch of them. These get used from time to time in my weekly spread, but these become the hero that Gotham deserves in my monthly spread when I'm marking out trips and times kids like breaks and conferences and all those things. These little guys in all the different colors are my favorite way to note that. For some reason, they have captured my heart and my planner soul. We're getting to the end here, and before I talk about my favorite planner of the year, I want to talk about my favorite pens of the year. I've tried a bunch of pens. I have some old standards that I love, etc., etc. But when it comes to pens that I have used, probably new pens that I have used the shit out of, it's got to be the Tombow Mono drawing pen. They come in 3 tip sizes, 01, 03, 05. These guys right here. These pens, is that upside down? No, good. These pens are the business. I am heavy-handed, and even the 01 does not die. I tried the Copic multi-liners for the first time, and those things fell before the storm that is my heavy hand. They fucking got squashed, and I was like, I just spent how much money on these damn pens? And I will do a review of them later, but holy crap, did my iron grip, like, flatten the Copic multi-liner. And I love Pigma Microns, but they're not new to me. I've used those for years. But these guys stole my heart to the point, this is my second set. Not because my heavy hand killed them, but because my copious usage killed them. This year, I bullet journaled a lot in the second half of the year, and these pens were probably the #1 pen I used the most in my bullet journal since I got them. Like, I've gone back and forth between these and the Pigma Microns, and I'm thinking about adding the Pit Artist pens into the rotation, but these guys love them. I wish that they came out with a broader tip size. I hope that they do that in 2018. Maybe add another bolder tip like an 08 or a 1, and maybe a finer tip like an 005. That would be rad. But for now, these guys, awesome. And that is the perfect segue into my favorite planner in 2017. And I never thought I would say this. And Mari Mundo from Mari Plans a List on Instagram, damn it, you were right. The bullet journal. This is not my only planning system, as my video yesterday said. I just did not realize how much I was going to like it once I let go of doing things exactly the way other people did. First couple times I tried bullet journaling, I was so obsessed with what everybody else on the internet was doing, and none of it worked for me, and I felt demoralized, so I stopped. I've been bullet journaling, I've been putting up videos once a week almost for 5 months now. I continually go back and realize there are times when I catch myself sort of falling down the rabbit hole and doing something that didn't feel right for me. And once I realized why I was doing it, I was able to rewrite my course, and that feels great. I'm not going to give up on my standard, already printed Erin Condren Quill Press style of planning. I'm not going to give up on that because it actually serves a really great purpose for me. But incorporating this in for task listing, for challenges, for habit tracking, for those things, this has been invaluable to me. Having it for notes and for brainstorming and blah, blah, blah. This is my Scribbles That Matter journal. This is my second bullet journal, and I love this. This was my first bullet journal. This is my Right Planner Company dot journal, and I filled this one up, and I was so proud of myself for filling this guy up, and that going to this one felt really good. Both notebooks, solid. I have a video on this one talking about why I think it's a great choice for a first-time bullet journaler, and I love Scribbles That Matter, and my next one will probably be another Scribbles That Matter journal. Overall, I've just really appreciated what this has brought to my life. I don't consider myself to be a bullet journaler. I mean, I guess I am. I don't consider myself to be a primarily bullet journaler. I'm not all super, I don't have a stiffy for all the systems and all the things. I just use what I want and I move on. I consider myself to be a flexiplanetarian. Is that a word? I'm making that a word. If you're a flexiplanetarian, if you use different systems and you are not ashamed of it, put it in the comment. Flexiplanetarian. In 2018. Sounds like planetarium, like planetarium. And those were my favorite things in 2017. I am sorry that this video is so long. I guess I had a lot of things I liked. I'm not making a video of the things I hated. I guess I could do that, but there's a few things I would put on that list. If you're interested in seeing a list of things that were fails for me in 2017, leave comments down below. Chances are it won't happen until 2018 has started, but at the same time, I might be willing to do it. I might. Maybe. What were things you loved this year? Was there anything that you discovered that you didn't realize you needed, but as soon as you got it, you realized you couldn't live without it? Pop sockets. Thank you so much for watching this whole year if you have been, and if you haven't, welcome. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.